The Mandalorian Season 3. Plot, predictions, and players. The Mandalorian, the live-action Star Wars series that introduced Baby Yoda, brought back Boba Fett, and saw the return of a certain beloved Jedi, is getting a third season and several spin-offs on Disney+. A behind-the-scenes special revealed the production secrets of the epic Season 2 finale, and Season 3 that began shooting in the fall. Let's take a look at where Mando's adventures, which take place a few years after Return of the Jedi, are likely to go next. We'll be diving into full spoiler territory for the first 2 seasons, so be warned if you aren't up to date. And before we heat things up, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons and ring the notification bell for the latest from TenZone. The announcement. In the closing moments of The Mandalorian Season 2, Jon Favreau once again changed everything. Though it was largely disconnected from the main movies and the Skywalker saga in its first 2 seasons, The Mandalorian did the impossible, bringing a young Luke Skywalker face-to-face with Baby Yoda and Mando. With a heartbreaking goodbye, Luke takes little Grogu away from Daddy Mando to get him trained in the Jedi ways. Giancarlo Esposito's Moff Gideon remains in Mando's custody. There's some tension between Mando and Bo-Katan over the Darksaber, which must be won in combat, and makes its owner the leader of the Mandalorians. And Boba Fett, along with just about everyone else, is getting his own Star Wars spin-off. At the end of an already frantic 2020, Disney broke the internet with an almost overwhelming number of announcements at the Disney Investor Day 2020. Among the Marvel and Pixar reveals, the Star Wars universe also expanded in ways that not even OG Yoda himself could have foreseen. News that Hayden Christensen will return as Darth Vader in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show took center stage, and rightly so. Prequel Hive rejoice. But if you were paying close attention to all of the announcements, you'll also know that The Mandalorian has been officially renewed for a 3rd season. This wasn't exactly the gag of the century, but still. For fans of Mando and his lovable Muppet companion, this is very good news indeed. It's an entirely new future for The Mandalorian. So what's going to happen in Season 3? Predictions and players. The Liberation of Mandalore. It's pretty clear by the end of Season 2 where Mando, Bo-Katan, and Koska Reeves are headed next. Now that they've taken control of the Imperial cruiser and an arsenal of weapons, reacquired the Darksaber, and captured Gideon, the heroes seem to have everything they need to finally liberate Mandalore from the Empire. It wouldn't be surprising if the Mandalorian homeworld were the first very stop of Season 3, as the stage seems set for a pretty large battle worthy of a season premiere. And we know Mando is along for the ride, since he promised in the Season 2 finale that he'd fight for Bo-Katan's cause in exchange for help rescuing Grogu. In fact, Mando's participation in the Liberation of Mandalore seems mandatory at this point, since he's technically the rightful wielder of the Darksaber. Darksaber Drama. As a cackling Gideon explains in the Season 2 finale, the blade can only be won in battle, which means Bo-Katan will have to fight Mando for the Darksaber if she hopes to rule Mandalore once again. As reluctant as Mando is to keep the weapon, offering it to Bo-Katan several times, she can't just take it apparently. These Darksaber rules of succession are a bit of a retcon since Bo-Katan first acquired the weapon when Sabine Wren awarded to her on Star Wars Rebels. They didn't actually fight for it, and she seemed fine with that then. But I guess Mando simply handing Bo-Katan the Darksaber isn't quite as dramatic for a high-profile Disney Plus series. How this Darksaber drama might be resolved is anyone's guess, but judging from the way Bo-Katan coolly stares at Mando as he holds the blade in the finale, it's unlikely that she'll move on from getting the weapon back. Does this mean Mando and Bo-Katan are going to become enemies in Season 3? One thing that does seem clear is that Season 3 won't see Mando ascend the throne of an entire planet. Where's Grogu? Although Season 2 seemed to conclude Grogu's story on the show, it's unlikely Disney will bench the show's most beloved character for very long. Even if he doesn't appear alongside Mando throughout Season 3, we would get at least one episode that continues the little Jedi's story and shows where Luke and Grogu went after their meeting on the Imperial cruiser. While the first episodes of Season 3 could focus on the liberation of Mandalore and the direct aftermath of Bo-Katan's mission, the show could give Mando a reason to go searching for Grogu once again. picking up Luke's trail and following it around the galaxy. It's also possible that Luke could bring Grogu back to the bounty hunter if the little Jedi decided that he wanted to be with Mando instead. More Thrawn hints. One of the great things about The Mandalorian is the show's ability to do quite a lot of world building while telling an intimate story with just a few characters at the same time. While following Mando and Grogu's adventures, we've learned more about the Imperial Remnant, the power vacuum left in the wake of Jabba's death on Tatooine, the movement to take back Mandalore, Jedi lore on Tython, and the state of the New Republic, and more. The Jedi also gave us a big hint as to where the Disney Plus Star Wars universe might be headed: the return of Grand Admiral Thrawn. We learn in arguably the show's best episode so far that Ahsoka Tano is searching for Thrawn, and that after defeating the Magistrate, she's one step closer to finding him. The mere mention of Thrawn's name likely sent fans of the 90s Star Wars novels into a frenzy, especially those who still hold dear Timothy Zahn's Heir to the Empire, the book that introduced the Imperial villain and kicked off a new era of storytelling in the galaxy far, far away, set after Return of the Jedi. Since The Mandalorian takes place during the same era as Heir to the Empire did in the no longer canon Legends continuity, many fans have speculated that The Jedi was the start of a rebooted version of the classic Thrawn saga. Rangers of the New Republic. The Jedi was also the jumping-off point for Ahsoka's very own live-action series, serving as a backdoor pilot that reintroduced the character for general audiences, as well as teased out her motivations and future adventures. The Mandalorian Season 3 could do the same for Rangers of the New Republic, an upcoming live-action series we currently know nothing about, besides the fact that it takes place at the same time as Mando's adventures, and that it has a cool title. Perhaps Mando runs into the Rangers while on another mission in the Outer Rim. One theory suggests it'll be a new group of New Republic lawmen led by Cara Dune. We'll just have to wait and see. Sabine Wren? Crossover episode with Boba Fett. Disney seems very interested in creating a cohesive shared universe of live-action Star Wars series. Ahsoka really kicked off on The Mandalorian, and so did the Book of Boba Fett, the series that will premiere this December ahead of Season 3. And what better way to keep that shared universe going than to have crossover episodes between shows? Since Boba Fett already appeared quite prominently on The Mandalorian, there's no reason he couldn't return for an episode on the original Star Wars live-action series. Don't expect a Mandalorian Season 3 trailer for quite some time yet, but that's fine, because in the meantime, there are a gazillion Baby Yoda memes and clips floating about, which absolutely deserve to be watched on repeat. Tell us what you know and we'll include it on our next update. Just share in the comments section below. After you hit that like button and subscribe to TenZone, take a look at TenZone's Facebook and Instagram, and be sure to watch our previous videos. Thanks for watching, and see you again in our next video.